Ogun, the Iron Orisha. Ogun is the patron of blacksmiths, hunters, and warriors. He is a divinity who is associated with clearing paths, specifically in respect to building a civilization. He is also the divinity of mechanization, and he is the essence of divine justice and truth on earth. And devotees swear upon him in a very solemn silence. He is known for his keen insight into the hearts of men, and he is known as a liberator and executor all around the world. He is an incredible Orisha. His element obviously is iron, and for colors he's often associated with red, black, and white, which show the stages of iron as it's going through a smelting process, but also associated with blue and red, which are the colors of the Haitian flag. His sacred numbers are 3 and 7. He is associated with both Mars and Earth because of their strong iron content. With respect to animals, he is particularly fond of dogs and snakes, especially the black mamba or black-headed cobras, and also snails, whose snail trail liquid had been used to heal various types of wounds. He's also fond of crocodiles and red roosters. In symbolism, he is often described riding a spotted hyena, which hyenas obviously have a very close association with magic in Africa, and thus he bears that association as well. And he's also known for riding a brilliant white stallion. In nature, he's associated with several cultivated edible plants, including garlic, rosemary, black pepper, chili peppers, and many other medicinal herbs, as well as the grains of paradise, which have both culinary and magical uses. Ogun is known for taking various forms throughout the African diaspora, but he is typically portrayed as a large, virile, handsome man who is the epitome of a strong blacksmith and warrior, and at times he is depicted with both a machete or sword and also a 3-legged iron cauldron. While he is clearly the patron of blacksmiths, hunters, truck and taxi drivers, as well as surgeons and mechanics, he is also associated with agriculture because of the tools that were made from his sacred metal. Ogun watches over those who work with metal in any capacity. He is known for sharing the gift of ironworking with men, and also taught humans how to perform magic, as well as the arts of hunting and warfare. And although he isn't necessarily associated with agriculture himself, he does have a connection to planting and harvest because he is the one who made the first tools for agriculture, such as the hoe and the sickle. In Yoruba belief system, he was the first of the Orishas to come to Earth, and he did so in the form of a hunter named Tobe Odi, and this hunter led all the Orishas into the world of mortal men. He is typically armed with an axe and a sword, and he is known to be the god of warriors. And thanks to his role as a hunter, he is also associated with dogs. Typically, shrines for Ogun are located outdoors, at the base of large trees or near a forge. It depends on the tradition in which one is honoring this deity. If one were to keep an altar for Ogun, typically these are done in very discreet places, a cabinet or a closet, and should contain an anvil or cauldron, which can serve as his altar or the repository for his offerings. And it is important that this be a 3-legged cauldron versus a 2-legged cauldron for obvious reasons. When making offerings for Ogun, he has some very simple things that this Orisha requires: red candles, cigars, rum, palm wine, whiskey, or other alcoholic beverages, but also salt, dragon's blood incense, metals, chains, metal tools, and even railroad spikes have served as offerings to him. And if you decide to cook for this deity, keep in mind that he likes spicy foods, hot peppers or hot sauce, offerings dressed with red palm oil, but he's particularly fond of roasted yams, red beans and red rice, mangoes, or meat. Ogun's following spread rapidly with the transatlantic slave trade, particularly Middle Passage, that spread Africans throughout many areas of the Caribbean and the Americas, and they have kept a strong following for this deity. And again, deities associated with iron is one of the more common aspects that we see in many belief systems. And Ogun's association with iron and also warfare put him in line with a lot of other deities that we would see come after Ogun. And what comes to mind is obviously the Roman and Greek deity of war, who was Mars, who was particular himself as a warrior, but also Hephaestus, who was the metalsmith of the Romans. The Norse also put a particular importance on those who forged weapons, although they didn't seem to deify a god in the same way that they do, say, thunder or lightning or magic. And the craft making tools were left to outsiders, the dwarves who made the great hammer of Thor and the staff of Odin. But however we look at it, Ogun has remained one of the most significant deities of the Orisha pantheon, being the first, the one who led the others to the world of the mortals, and being a liberator at times when those people were oppressed. We can see evidence of his work in the Haitian rebellion against colonial imperialism. Please remember to like and subscribe, and check out other videos you'll see linked in with this video as well.